This video took a year to make, but it was so worth it. Okay, just to give a bit of background information. So what this is a modded Switch. Now, now that disclaimer is done, we can actually get into the video. So, what this is here is a modded Switch, right? But this has taken me a year to actually do because of these things. Okay, so now that you've seen that, I will be putting up a video on kind of micro soldering on my member video, so if you want to see that, it's only like €2 a month, not even, I don't know. But let's get into the main piece of this video, the Switch. Now, the reason why I really like this is because I don't play a lot of video games, right? I play Sonic X Shadow Generations for 2 weeks and then don't for 3 months. But this has been genuinely perfect. Why? Why do I say that? Overclocking has been just so good. It basically is almost a €90 Steam Deck, in my opinion. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm having this plugged in through the wall for overclocking. You will get substantially worse performance even through overclocks on the wall. Alright, so now that we're at some form of a camera angle, I'm going to hit L down right stick to open Ultra Hand. So what I have here is a couple of things that just enhance the system. So FPS Locker is basically an app that changes the frames intended for a specific game. So as you can tell here, this is running at 60 frames. If I turn this off down to 30, it'll obviously target 30. This is what it tries to run at. Now, here I have a reverse NXRT. This is basically an app that you can trick it into running docked mode. I like to use this in the dock to force handheld mode because I get like 720p resolution instead of 1080, but I can run 60 FPS on games faster. So I'm just going to go to change system control, handheld save settings. And then this is my favorite one, SysClock. This is an overclocking app. You can do whatever you want. Now, I have mine pushed to the max here because I just want the most performance I can get. But if you have an OLED Switch and you decide to do this, you'll get higher clocks on the RAM and on other stuff. They use a little different CPU. It's still the same platform, obviously, but the CPU is physically different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight into Sonic Generations here. And you can even just see the smoothness of it. Now, I can't change the patch here because I'm actually using a mod rather than just the lock, because it doubles the frames, obviously. So, right here, I'm going to enable my FPS counter. And you can see I'm getting full 60. Now, if you hear that vibrating, that's my Joy-Con, the motor's broken in it. But let's test it. Now loading into a level here, you can see 60 frames on a Switch. Now the reason why there's such a substantial difference is because Nintendo factory underclocked the chip in this, the Tegra. And they really shouldn't have, to be honest, because you can clearly see I'm getting 60 frames a second here. And it would have just made more sense if they didn't underclock it, because, I mean, it's clearly capable, like, it's not struggling at all here. One thing you may have noticed is the fan. It sounds like it's about to take off. That's the one thing. Now, obviously, you're not going to be near an AC adapter the entire time. So let's see what happens when I unplug it. Fans dip and the frames dip. So on unplugged, we're getting around shy of 60. even 60 in some cases, which is honestly really impressive still. But just look at that, like 60 frames on this game is insane. Bear in mind this is running at 720p. Like it's nothing that's going to spoil your eyes, but this is what it regularly ships with, typically locked to 30. Now, let's say you want to play it docked. What's your frames going to look like? Well, we can do that with reverse NX patch. This basically allows you to just force docked mode and run 1080p directly on the screen. Now, you're going to notice the frames have dropped drastically. If we go into FPS here, yeah, we're getting around 30 frames. The reason why it looks insanely jittery is because I do have that mod in it. So this is pretty much running on half speed. But it's still playable. Like, definitely. If you're really quality over frames, this is perfect. But to be honest, at this small of a screen, I don't notice the difference. And 720p is just so much better. Because for Sonic games especially, you're going to be running around. You're going to enjoy the kind of faster frames. PCBWay is an online PCB manufacturing website. On their website, they allow you to order PCBs, CNC, PCB design, and many other capabilities. As well as that, they have module stores and online guides, so you can buy other people's PCB designs directly from their store. PCBWay makes PCB prototyping the easiest way possible. They have quick turnaround times, advanced PCBs, advanced assembly, and of course, machining for all your housings. They are not a broker at all. They do it all in one closed roof, and they assure your quality and will redo it if you do not get the quality received. They also provide DFM feedback, where they provide detailed description on issues and holes in your PCBs. While I keep sponsoring these people, they are the best PCB company ever. If you want a project made, this is your go-to spot. Other rival companies do not provide the same standard of quality as PCBWay. PCB ordering is super easy. You can do it in 3 simple processes. All you have to do is provide length, quantity, and the Gerber file. Then select your shipping with a vast amount of options for countries and different locations to ship to, all under cheap and fast shipping prices. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to PCBWay today to find your next PCB board. Thanks. Now, up here is a really demanding part. There's lots of graphical effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable the frame counter and see how much we drop. So it's honestly surprising because there's like a lot of effects, but we had about a 1% low of 35 there, which wasn't bad at all. Like, it's keeping up. This is unplugged, bear in mind. And if you're nearing anywhere 45 frames a second on a portable from nearly 10 years ago, it's not bad. For example, if you compared this to the GBA in like... When did the GBA come out? Let's just take the DS in 2016. If you overclock that, it would not get anywhere near this. It just shows how much potential the Switch had, but Nintendo really didn't curate for it. They should have just genuinely overclocked it. Now, if you have noticed, the one thing that's really bad about this is the fan. The fan doesn't shut up. While it does sound minor on the microphone, maybe you'll be able to hear it. When you plug it in, it starts taking off. So yeah, it's pretty loud. It's all I can hear right now. So if you are planning to overclock it, the one thing I say, repaste it, repaste it, repaste it. The small grease that's on it is like a putty. It's not a proper paste. It's like this pink putty. That does not sustain the time. You need to repaste it, especially if you're doing insane mods like this. But if you get it working, and if it works to this degree, enjoy it, because 60 frames on this game, portably, is so good. Hey. Anyway, That's overclocking. Now, the reason why it works so well in this game is because it's a near 15-year-old game. But on more modern games, you'll see around 45, 50 frames, depending on the game. Now, my next thing, just to show off overclocking, is Sonic Superstars, because it runs insanely well. If you are running simple 2D platformers, you're going to be in such a good time. Now, as you can see there, this game runs stock, no mods at 60. It's because it's a simple 2D platformer. You don't need anything more. But if I just go into FPS Locker, increase target, increase. Okay. So, my real favorite thing with this is obviously the overclocking. Like, it just makes the Switch like a modern system. And it really makes me wonder why they didn't really just kind of repackage the Switch OLED as Switch Pro. Because the Switch OLED has even faster clocks it can go to. But it just makes me really curious, like, why didn't they do a Switch Pro in 2021? That would have bridged the gap so much. But, I mean, hey, the Switch 2's out now. Now, the thing I really love about this is the fact that you can just kind of separate this from your system. So basically, when you mod this, you have two options. You can make what's called an emunand or a syscfw partition. So I went with emunand, which basically makes two partitions, one on your SD card and one on the regular NAND. So the regular NAND I can use for obviously playing online, while the SD card I can use for modding and putting custom themes on and stuff. syscfw basically just combines the two of them into the NAND itself, but you're going to get risks with playing online, and I'm just not ready to take that. Now, you can obviously run different operating systems. You can run Fedora, Ubuntu, and Lineage OS to my knowledge. I'll have to take a look at that and put it on screen. But it's really fun. Go into Ubuntu. Yes. Just regular Ubuntu on a Switch. Now, I have 18.04 installed, so I can't really do much with it. And I probably will make a long form video where I kind of go through this in depth. But, I mean, it's just kind of regular Ubuntu. I've made so many operating system videos now that I'm kind of bored of them. There we go. That is Ubuntu with full controller support. Like, that's not slow. Now, this is on an older version of Ubuntu, 18.04, as I said. So it's not going to have great support. But that's pretty good. Like, I definitely watch YouTube and stuff on that. In my opinion, right now, with the price of the Steam Deck and the unavailability of 3DS's RAM prices, this is the most fun thing ever. Because first off, you have to do the whole thing of the mod chip, which in my opinion is so fun and half the fun of the actual console. And then you get this console, which is basically just a mini PC with efficiency and portability in mind. Now, the one gripe I would have with this is the size of it. It's very big. I don't like that. Like, I can't believe that the Switch 2 is already bigger than this. I made a video on this last year that tech is just getting too big, and it's still continuing. So, yeah, I'd recommend even trying to get the Switch Lite. Now, it is harder to mod, obviously. But, yeah, I'll be making a member-only video soon, probably on how I soldered it. But thanks for watching. Sorry that this was short, but I'll have another video next week. Goodbye.